What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Hashira Half Hour here. We're here sponsored and brought to you in part by Tokyo Treat Box. Tokyo Treat Box is a monthly snack subscription box that can bring a little piece of Japan all the way overseas to your door with one snack box containing up to like around 20-ish snacks and containing beverages and or ramen sometimes. Definitely a great little piece to bring home. This month's theme is Konbini Snackin'. Now, if you're wondering what a konbini is, the two of them are crying because they definitely missed the konbini.
Oh, so much.
Now, imagine if 7-Eleven in, wherever you may live is a glorious place filled with fresh food and food that doesn't have all processed ingredients in it and is actually like food. There it is. It's amazing. It's a great place. And they have other snacks too, of course. This month's theme for Konbini Snackin' is going to be experiencing Japan's amazing convenience stores with this month's box packed with konbini treats and easy-to-eat treats. Bite into the best of Japan's famous konbinis from your house. We are going to be having, of course, some of the matcha Kit Kats today as well. They always send Kit Kats in every box because Japan has such a wide array of flavors for Kit Kats. They have orange, peach, sakura, Mount Fuji, and they always send us a different kind of our Kit Kat, which is really cool each month they get to see.
So I'm just wondering what Mount Fuji tastes like.
Oh, it was blueberry cheesecake.
Oh, okay. I was like, did it taste like dirt? Because sorry, bad joke. Well, and one of the great things about getting your fun Japan snacks from Tokyo Treat is the nice little booklet, because we all know, even I have been working on my Japanese for a long time, and I can't read the labels. So these just have a little bit of information about each snack, along with any allergy information, which we know is super important for a lot of you, so that you know what you're getting into in case you have a food allergy or any food sensitivities. It'll tell you, which is super helpful. And then on top of that, this booklet has all kinds of fun little information tidbits from the culture, the time of year that it's from. Like, I'm staring at a famichiki, and I miss it so much. Those were so tasty.
The famichikis.
An egg sandwich. I had a lot of those for breakfast. I loved those. So it's just fun little tidbits of information to make you feel like you're biting into Japan just a little bit more. And if you're hoping to go there someday, this will definitely get you ready, because I feel like it got us ready. We kind of knew what snacks to look for, and this booklet helped us get there because we knew like what the title of it was in English and that sort of thing.
No.
Or, if you have gone to Japan sometime in the recent past and you're missing the konbini, then this might help ease the pain just a very, very small amount.
Or make it worse.
That's also possible.
And of course, if you're wanting to sign up for a Tokyo Treat Box, don't forget to use the link in our bio and our code Hashira for $5 off your first box. So that way you can enjoy a little discount.
All right. We digging in?
Yeah.
Here we go.
Ah!
Itadakimasu!
Itadakimasu!
Konpai! Itadakimasu!
Favorites? I think we all agree on this one.
Maybe for one of the first times ever.
I think so. 1, 2,
2,
3.
3.
Melon
Melon
Yeah, those biscuits were delicious.
Those were so good. Yeah.
10 out of 10.
I could have eaten 5 bags of it.
Agreed. We will definitely try and find those at Tisso.
Yeah.
I think it was a memory for me going back to our trip when we were in Osaka. There's a stand of a guy making melon pan ice cream. And he had a little melon pan song playing. It's like, melon pan. It was so cute. It was like perfect.
Yeah,
So good.
it reminded me a little bit of that. But I did like the Earl Grey cake also.
That was close second. I definitely put that too.
I liked the apple like candy thing.
The apple tear.
Because it tasted like actual apple.
Yeah.
Whatever we get here, it doesn't taste like apple. It's just chemicals.
Yeah.
And
Tastes
sugar.
like Windex.
Oh no.
Like apple Windex.
Aw. All right, well, if you want to get your own box, don't forget, you can go to the link in the description, put in the code Hashira, you get $5 off your first box, and make sure you can get your hands on this very box, because this one is the June box, so it'll only be available for a limited time. So definitely get it while you can. It was super, super delicious. But with that, I think we're ready for the episode.
Let's jump in.
Let's go. It's been a minute since I've opened up an episode. Hey, everyone. Welcome back to the Hot Shit a Half Hour. And guess what we're doing today? We're talking about Dandadan. In case any of you forgot that we actually talked about it at one point. I think it's been at least 6 months since the last one. But you know what? Hey, we are doing this for fun. We get to it when we get to it. But we are back and we are ready. And as always, I am Hannah. I'll be your host today. And I am joined by my 2 friends.
What's up? I am powered by juice. I just want my juice. Yeah. I don't want no responsibilities. I just want juice.
Hell yeah, dude. I'm Emily. That's all I got.
I feel like we're always just like, that's all I got, while he's always got some cool.
I never know what it's
fun
going to be
quip.
next.
Like, it is. Emily and I are just like surviving another day while he's like, well.
We're like that meme of the guys on the bus. And Brian's always like on the sunny side of the bus, and Hannah and I are like looking at the unspeakable horrors
of our 30s. Oh,
That's
Lord.
rough, buddy. Not yet.
Not yet. Although when the next Avatar movie comes out, I will be 30, so that's great. Anyway, we're not here to talk about the looming threat of our 30s. We are here to talk about Dandadan, episode 10. And this episode was a fun little shoujo filler-esque transitional episode. Obviously, we just spent a lot of time focused on the battle in the school against all those crazy monsters, and it was kind of nice to get a little breather, don't you think?
It was cute. We were just talking about this before the camera started rolling, but I realized that I didn't remember that much of like watching this episode the first time. And maybe it's because it's not as action-packed or like critical character introducing as some of the other episodes are, but it was still fun. It definitely had like a couple chuckles, I think, that were well earned, and then obviously it ends on an interesting note as well.
All I gotta say is Iris still making the spotlight her own, and that's really what's important. I think one of my favorite quotes was, yes, so the fate of the world is still in my hands. Got it. And, you know, honestly, that's the main character energy I'm striving for. My birthday is coming up soon, and I think that's going to be the next, my next era is main character era. I don't know if that's positive or toxic, but we'll find out.
I mean, I feel like we got introduced to a pretty important character in this episode because we got introduced to Queen Sensei.
Oh, she was crazy.
The nurse. I mean, wow. I loved the switch up when she seems super scary and is like, and then she's like talking to one of the other staff members and doing crazy things. And then she comes back and she's like, okay, like, if you need anything, you can stay in here as long as you want. Just make sure you wear clothes. And then, like, leaves. And I was like, whoa. I would be terrified of a school nurse like that because ain't no way. They don't really have time to think about how scared they are of the nurse, though, because all of a sudden, like, all the friends are coming in and they're like, Ida, are you okay? It's Momo's fault. And they're just, like, sitting there, like, crazy. And then Momo's friends come in. And they're like, Momo, are you okay? You disappeared. And this, like, big ol', like, production from Momo's friends happens. They deciphered that both Momo and Ida are in love with Okarun. And he's just like, oh, what is happening? So, are they right, though? Or
I
are
mean,
they
yeah. Like, they're very obviously right. I don't think that they needed to, like, Sherlock their way through that situation. I actually really like the friends. I think they're really funny when they pop up. And I don't know if we talked about it's been a while since we talked about this, but I love their little, like, just the way that they appear and, like, the reference to the, like, much, much older shoujo animes as well. And it's fun that, like, then when they come in, that's kind of what we're getting out of the show, or, like, some more of these shoujo moments. But I didn't put 2 and 2 together when they pronounced the name of, like, the makeup style. Like, way back in, like, episode... I think... Did they discuss
was
that?
it?
It's like gyaruzu or something, and it's
it's
gals, which is a very, very old shoujo where they all have like the crazy makeup and like the deep tans like that. That's from probably like the mid to late 90s. Very old shoujo manga. That's cute. I'm sure it's probably problematic in this day and age, but it was good back in the day. And it's fun that they look like that, and it's fun that like when they come in, it's like, oh, we're getting like our little cute moment that's not full of yokai.
Queen Sensei is crazy. That little thing she had in her hand, like that feather thing. Okay, so this is like kind of weird, but like the Pokemon trading card game has this card called Chill Teaser Toy. And like that just sounds like awful for children, and that's what it reminded me of, this like little feather thing, just very awkward. There's also a Pokemon card called Ends Pee Up. Yeah. Pokemon cards, there's 2 of them, and they all sound like explicitly awful for children. Crazy. Then we're going on this Sherlocking. I'm glad they Sherlocked their way through it, because honestly, I'm wanting for a review, a presentation, and then they take it a step further, and then Okadoon's all of a sudden presenting about how the world is like in a delicate balance because yokais are keeping off the aliens and warding them away, and then like if we kill too many yokai, aliens are going to invade the planet. So aliens are trying to seek out us special humans to try and figure things out. And I was like, this is like 8 different directions, man. I was like head spinning, but like it was good. I liked it.
And that's when Ida was like, "You mean the fate of the world is in my hands?"
Exactly.
Which she's not wrong, So she thinks she's the main character of this show when she unfortunately is not. But it's okay, because she got a little bit of redemption in this episode. She's surrounded in class by all of her friends after her 2 friends take her away from Momo and Okadoon, because they obviously think that Momo's the person that's doing all this, because she was the one who dropped the wash bucket on her head all the way back in like episode 1, right? And at first she's kind of living for all the attention, and they're like, "Oh yeah, it's not your fault, something happened, blah 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 blah," and she's like, I perfectly curated this popular moment so that this would happen if something crazy happened. And then they start bad-mouthing Momo and are like, "We're gonna find her," and she finally says that she started that rumor and she walked away. Do we have some time of redemption for Ida?
Maybe this is unpopular, but I feel like Ira's never needed to be redeemed. That's my thought on that. She's living her best life, doing what she wanted, and I mean, yeah, maybe she started that rumor, and maybe I'm living for it because I just got into the Secret Lives of Mormon Wives, and so I've been getting into like juicy drama kind of stuff, so I was kind of living for that.
If Ida has no stands left in this world, you know what happened. If there's only one stand left, it is Brian.
We're getting a little bit of redemption here. And it's coming from her very begrudgingly. We'll see. We'll see how long-lived it is, or like if it's consistent. But it seems like a general turn in the correct direction. I did love her little aside to herself, though, and that's like a theme in this episode too, is like the girls especially are having like these almost internal monologues that are becoming external. And it's like they're kind of letting their ugly selves, they're like going goblin mode a little. They're like, exactly as I predicted. And I'm like, that is a real thing. I think I maybe I'm just speaking for myself.
No. I see what you're saying, because like Momo was like, "I bet you didn't badmouth me," and she was like, right, because like at the end of the day, Iroh like maybe has realized that like she shouldn't do things like that, but like also I think these characters are having like realizations together about like growing up, and I think that's really like kind of sweet actually for the pace of the anime.
Well, at the end of the day, this is a show where, yes, the stakes are high because we're dealing with these yokai and aliens, but at the same time, the life that they're living is just your very high school life where Ida is, a teenage girl who is popular, so she's selfish. But that doesn't mean that she's irredeemable. It just means that she has a lot of life to learn, and sometimes making the right friends is all that she would need to be able to see that maybe the way she's been acting in the past hasn't always been right. And of course, I still feel like she changed a lot after the whole acrobatic Silky situation, obviously, because that was, she died. She's on her second life now of 9. Yeah, so I'm down for some redemption. I might enjoy her a little bit more now, but we'll see. We'll see where it goes. At some point, Okadoon does confess to Momo that he was working out, and I thought that was the sweetest thing because he was so shy about it. And finally, they were able to communicate what happened, because at this point, like, Momo still didn't know what was going on when she saw them on top of each other, Okadoon and Ida. And so he finally was able to get out what was going on, and then was able to admit that he was working out. And it's just like, He's such a shy kid who's like, I thought it would be cool while he grabs his glasses. More spark in their romance. I'm so for this.
Honestly, I hope they end up together. Like, even though I'm an Ira stan, I feel like Ira is like a strong, independent woman who don't need no man. And I feel like Momo and Okarun are just meant to be together. Like, I feel like they really set up, while they have set up this love triangle, they really, like, pushed Okarun and Momo to the front with that first episode with the, actually, like, looking back, somewhat kind of crazy, like, her looking into the camera, and then there's, like, an explosion behind her head, and she's like,
Right as he says his name.
yeah, like, that's crazy.
That was crazy work.
No, I think that they're so cute.
Yeah.
And I it's obvious to us and to like her friends and to everybody that there is definitely a spark of something going on, but it's hilarious to me because I think they both don't fully understand their own feelings yet and are definitely not picking up on what the other's putting down, which is really fun to watch. But it's very high school.
Yeah.
It's like these are kids, so like do they need to be in a super serious relationship? Like probably not. The way it is right now is really cute, but if they grow and blossom into something else, I think that's cute too.
Yeah, I mean they're teenagers and there's a lot of learning at that age. We've all been there. We all know what it's like to be in high school and figuring out your feelings, and it's not easy, and sometimes it's completely impossible to even be aware of it. But Nika is fully aware of her love for this chew toy. She is not unaware whatsoever. Wow. I wish I could love a thing.
Love anything that much.
Nonetheless, we move on from our happy-go-lucky moments, and Ida and Momo are outside with each other when the Chiquitita shows up again. And it's like, oh boy, like really, do we, can we have a moment to breathe? We're dealing with literal teenagers here. But then he goes to like fight, and it's just like nothing, and he just falls over. So the next, me too, bud, me too, honestly. So the next best thing to do is to take him to their house and nurse him back to health, right?
Sure. That's the first thing I would do.
Totally.
Hey, Mr. Yokai. I know you keep singing ABBA and bleeding milk. You want to come to my house?
Yeah,
That's exactly what I would do. Like, and word for word.
They really said, Chiquitita, tell me what's wrong.
And he did tell them. He was like, actually, my son is dying from a rare disease, and making it sound like, you know, we're on one of those commercials with really sad music in the background. It's like, I think it was really funny the way that they did it in the anime. It was like almost inaudible what he says, but he's like, I need, and it was like currency. But like the actual like subtitles on the screen were like dollar signs, so it was really interesting that was just like, maybe that's like my one weird thing I'm picking out of the episode. But he's like making the sob story for his kid, and I'm like, wow, they're really putting a lot of effort into this random character and his son, and all of a sudden like he's not a bad guy just because he was the bad guy, you know?
Well, we learned through his backstory that he's having to take jobs to pay to buy blood for his son, because I think he said that the disease is literally like he just is constantly losing blood, so he just has to constantly be given more blood in order to survive, and that his wife also had this disease and died from it. And can I just say, when they started playing like this sad music and the little boy was crying, I was like, I can't do this again, Don Don. I can't do this again. So I'm kind of thankful they didn't go quite as hard on this backstory as Acrobatic Silky, because that took me out for a minute. But they have to get blood, and like you said, he has to have currency, but they don't really have it because where he's from is in this like war-torn area, so he has to just take jobs. So he has no choice because he is, what do they call it, a kappa? Not technically an alien, but kind of an alien.
Yeah.
So I like it. Like, we're redeeming these characters that we think are not great.
In the grim dark of space, there is only war. That's a Warhammer reference.
I was gonna say that's exactly what he said. Wow, good job.
No, I think it's so sweet to see like a father-son dynamic and out of randomness for Kappa. I just love that this show really takes everything and puts it on its head. Every time that you have this introduction of character or this plot line, it really goes sideways into kind of something that you didn't expect, which I think is something that you can appreciate about the show itself, is to be able to not expect the unexpected, but like always be surprised by something, which I think is really refreshing.
I feel like a bad person because I just thought this guy was gross the whole time.
Oh no!
Aww.
Yes, the father-son thing is sweet. I couldn't get over the milk blood thing because of the, like, when he first described it. I'm sorry, it was freaking gross. He's like, he constantly loses it with his feces and urine.
yeah,
and I was like, oh.
Cool.
Like, he's just getting drained of everything he's got
Aw.
all at once. They're wringing this boy dry, but also it conjured the mental image for me, and it's just not, I'm sorry.
And now everyone who's listening in has to as well.
Yep, I'm sorry.
No thanks.
We're good. Well, the good news is Seiko has a solution because she is the one who figured out that their blood is like milk, essentially. It's not exactly the same, but it's the same consistency and the same pretty much everything. And so she's just like, well, you know, this gets thinned out for human consumption, but I'll just send a cow your way. So we get this shot of, and I feel like I had seen this multiple times before it got animated, just like from the manga, people were posting it. And we get this shot of this giant UFO and a cow.
That's like classic sci-fi. Like that's just like a really good reference to like what we know as like alien culture.
100%, but for like absolutely not the reasons that you would think.
Yeah.
The cow's getting beamed up.
Oh my,
Beam me up, Scotty!
oh my god. Oh, I'm dead. It was so funny. And just what a revolutionary moment for our cast as Momo's like, do you believe in aliens now, Grandma? And she's like, he's a kappa. It's like, bro, there's a UFO in front of you. Oh man, what? That was just like a crazy turn of events. That was insane. Like you said, Dandadan is so good at just, you think it's gonna be your fairly basic shonen, where it's just kind of like, okay, we're heading for the same thing, but then it just like keeps switching things up on you, and you're like, oh my god. And I love it. They do it really well, I think. And it's sometimes enough to make you sob your eyes out, and then sometimes it's enough to just make you laugh and have a good time. So appreciate that about it.
It's like a crisp pickle.
It's what?
It's a what?
It's like a crisp pickle.
A crisp
A
pickle?
crisp pickle.
Yeah.
Care to elaborate on that?
It's like a crunchy bite with a refreshing zing.
Sure.
Apparently, it's just me on that one. There are so many times where I'll be trying to like tell a joke or something, and it'll be like, yeah, it's like this, and then no one else in the room gets it, and it's just me.
And we love that about you.
Me too. And I can appreciate a good pickle every now and then as well. I would try a Dandadan pickle.
What would Dandadan pickles taste like? I mean, are we talking like I would try a Dandadan themed pickle or a pickle in the Dandadan universe?
You might want to be careful with where you're going there. Because I definitely don't want to try any of the bananas.
Banana.
No Dandadan themed bananas here.
No bananas.
Banana. Oh god.
Crazy.
Lord. Or golden balls, man. Forever ruined, bro. Well, the episode ends with the three of them begging for more school uniforms because guess what? They got destroyed in the battle that ensued earlier that day. Which is so funny to me. I'm like, man, shouldn't they be like sleeping? Because instead they're all just like absolutely going insane with each other at dinner. Like Turbo Baba and Okunun fighting. Seiko and Momo fighting. Ida and I think it was the Kappa before he left fighting. They're just like, wah! I'm like, sleep, do something, stop fighting. Anyway, random.
Have a normal life.
Have a normal life. No,
Be
they're anime
companion.
characters. They can't have a normal life. That's literally impossible. That's just not good television for us. So anyway, they're begging for those new
School uniforms.
school uniforms. I could only think of the Japanese word.
What is the Japanese word for it?
Saifu. Or Seifu, sorry.
Could have just
Seifu.
said it.
They're begging for their Seifus, and Seiko's like, well, Okurun and Ida can have theirs, but Momo, you have to do this impression of this Japanese celebrity or actor, whatever his name was, which was hilarious. We get introduced to Gigi, who she has to open the door while keeping up with this thing that she's doing, which is, oh my gosh, I'd be like, no, I'm not doing this. Gigi is here, and the episode ends with Seiko saying this was Momo's first love, and Okurun lets out quite the little gasp. I'm just throwing out there, for a kid who doesn't know his feelings, he definitely seemed a little bit surprised by that.
He really said, "Oh no, he's hot."
It's the vine. You guys are making me lose my marbles.
When will you learn?
No.
Your actions have consequences.
Oh.
But before we jump forward too much, can I just say again, we get like that little internal monologue that has become external. Momo was like, "We have to do this because adults have money and we don't. So come on, guys, it'll work." And then Grandma's like, "Okay, you two, cool. Momo, I don't like the look in your eyes." She's like, "What look in my eyes?" "The one that says that you like that adults have money."
It's like she knows her granddaughter or something.
Well, also, she's like so unserious as a guardian in some ways. She's like, "Yep, you'll have to work for it." "Okay, what do I have to do?" But also, it's like, it does feel like kind of adult accurate though, because I feel like whenever I or like, you know, you're at somebody's house that's like not your parent, and all three of you are in trouble, but two of you are not the immediate spawns, and they're like, "Okay," and they're like a little bit more lenient, but like their kid, they're like, "You better."
Oh my god. That reminds me of one of my friends from like middle school. His mom was like a smoker, and so like she had like a little bit of a raspy voice, and his name was Joey, and she'd be like, "Joe!" It was so funny. She would just be like yelling that around the house. She'd be like, "What are you doing?"
Wow. Anyway, Gigi. What do we think of Gigi?
He's barely said, he hasn't even said 2 words, actually.
Yeah, that's
Not
true.
yet. He's literally said Momo.
He went, Momo. That's like exactly what
think
he
that's
said.
it.
Seems like a nice guy.
He definitely seems like a guy that's at the door so far.
Well, I mean, but also, if you remember what happened to her first love when she was talking about it, I think it's the same guy. He was making fun of her when they were kids.
Oh.
So, automatically, my red flags are up, especially because it's obvious that Momo still has feelings for him, and now Okurun's got some serious competition. What's gonna happen? We'll have to stay tuned and find out.
Keep your skin in the game, folks.
Our boy has to live his shoujo life now. He doesn't even fully know it.
Poor Okurun. He's just trying to exist.
It's not going well.
It's not going well for him, man. Oh, well, any final thoughts before we talk about our favorite moments? No? Well, let's go ahead and transition into our favorite moments of the episode. I can go first. Mine was the production by Momo's friends to determine that both Momo and Ida were into Okurun because they got it right on the nose, and our characters, of course, were like, "What? No way!" And I was like, we're kind of getting somewhere because they finally have to actually face it head on that people think they're into each other. So I liked it. I thought it was cute, and I liked anytime we get a little bit more about the budding relationship between Momo and Okurun, because I like hardcore ship it. Like, I'm down for it, and it's cute.
Chickadeet, 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 chickadeet. Bleh. Definitely when he just like kind of like falls and collapses on the ground, and then like kind of milk bleeds too. Just kind of funny, honestly. His entire thing, and then the cow reference, of course. The cow reference was so funny. Like that shit was hilarious.
Yeah.
I did like that. I think my moment goes to Grandma Seiko calling Momo out on her shit. I thought that was hilarious. And I liked all the little monologues that Momo and Ida were doing. It's like, they're like, "Oh, yeah, I'm such a cute girl." "Exactly as I planned." Or, "I need money."
Adults have money and I don't. I need to use them to my advantage.
But I like that in this show, like, it's okay for the girls to kind of have these, like, ugly moments that are, like, realistic.
Yeah.
I think it's a privilege.
Like, are they
that-
always good people? No. That's okay, because they're people.
And they're teenagers.
And they're yes. Exactly. How old are they? They're, like, 14, 15?
I think they're 15 or 16.
15 or
I think
16.
they're in that area, yeah.
It's not a good age to be. I probably wasn't the best person in the world either when I was 15 or 16. And I'm like, you're just like a mini adult trying to figure out how to make your way very, very slowly through the world. And I think it's funny to accurately depict them like that. And it's not all like shoujo giggles.
I think it's a privilege that's been given to a lot of male characters, though.
Yeah.
Like, I guess, like, Naruto farting in the middle of the Chunin exams was like, oh, that's so funny. But, like, if a girl farted, like,
No, she didn't.
no, she didn't.
Yeah.
Exactly. Right? Just saying. Other male characters are allowed to be that, and I feel like when female characters get that, they get bash or, like, they get whiplash. So,
I just feel like it doesn't really happen.
Yeah.
I don't feel like, even if there's like a girl that's like an evil character, there's not that many that have just like those very human moments.
Yeah.
It's like it either leans like so far one way or the other. It's not like,
There's
not
expected to
that
be
many.
perfect.
or if it
Or-
is, like, if they're a little rough around the edges, then it's like, oh, she's like in a gang, or like,
Yeah.
you know, like it falls into those tropes a lot. I just liked it. I'm like, I was kind of drawn to those moments because I'm like, it makes them funny, it makes them a little bit more complicated, but it's not unrealistic for a normal teenage girl.
Yeah, I feel like it makes us able to relate to them more
Yeah.
because it's like that's how we all were in high school. Like
Oh, yeah.
we have those thoughts. Sometimes they were not inside thoughts, they were outside thoughts, and you know, we try our best, but we're going through a lot in high school.
Mhm.
And Ida and Momo definitely, you know, Ida still errs on the side of slight bully, you know, but she's getting there. She's working on it. And Momo's kind of a loner who's figuring out how to really make more friends outside of the small group that she's had the entire time. So, you know, it's realistic. It's what we go through in high school, honestly. So I appreciate that about the show for sure. So we're back in the game right before the new season starts. So
Woohoo!
we'll see y'all in 6 months for episode 11, and that'll be after season 2 finishes airing.
We saved the city.
We came back.
We're gonna try and get this done before season 2 starts, but we'll see how the next month pans out. But thank you so much for listening in to today's episode. If you liked it, don't forget to, if you're listening on Spotify, leave us a 5-star review. We greatly appreciate that. Share with your friends. Download the podcast. If you're watching this on YouTube, don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, leave a comment your thoughts on episode 10 of Dawn to Dawn, and also let us know how excited you are for season 2 that's going to be starting here in about a month. Are you going to see it in theaters, the first 3? Let us know. And don't forget, if you want to get your hands on a fun Tokyo Treat box this month, go to the link in our description and type in the code Hashira and you get $5 off your first box. And thanks again to Tokyo Treat for sponsoring today's video. Otherwise, we'll see you all later, and dun 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 dun.
Hit the bell, hit the bell, hit the bell icon.
Dun, dun, dun. Nice.
Oh yeah, follow us on social media too. I forgot about that part. Hashira Half Hour on Instagram and TikTok, and Hashira Half on X. Dun 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 dun.
Top
Anyway,
Gun from the top.
from the top. 5, 6, 7, 8. Dun 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 dun. Oh. Bye guys.
Boing!